I'm astounded by how the exhibition looks. It's a fantastic exhibition. And when you get your first email from some students who've got kind of no budget at all, you think, oh, hold on, you know, what's happening? And it turned out that there was a sort of echo throughout the land, because quite a few people had received an email, and there was a collective, oh, what is this? And so there was a little bit of, you know, electrons, you know, connecting and buzzing and lighting up. Is this a good, and I just immediately, something, you know, call it, you know, woman's waters, you know, we feel these things. I just thought, this is exciting, this is kind of the beginning of something. You can hear the hammer hitting the anvil, hear the ping. And I thought, well, I'm up for it. And one or two people rang, and I said, you know, we must do this. And I think there was somebody out in Manchester, and I said, well, I'm sure you haven't got what you need to do, because it's miles away, you know. And they said, oh, no, that's all right, we don't have to do it. The next thing I heard, she put some things in, you know. So they, you know, the students here have generated this kind of excitement. Now, it's a wonderful idea. I'm going to come to the idea of Kent, you know, the Kent, what is it called? Crikey, blimey. Crikey. Blimey, it's called Crikey, Contemporary. And it's, I have a feeling about art is that art hasn't really, art is circular. Science progresses, and you know, you do experiments and controls, and it's linear, and you get kind of better and better, and lots of proof is made. But when you look at the Lascaux drawings in the caves made 17,000 years ago, you realise that actually we've been kind of going around in circles. And in a way, that's what I think that art is, that you're not really are going round in circles like a drill. You're drilling down into the ground, and you're saying, this is me. This is what I think. You might think what you think. This is what I think. And I'm doing something about it. And I'm, you know, your shoes are your studio. It's a very local thing. And you know, it is like a snail. And you make about as much progress as a snail. But you do leave a slime, which is visible. and that's what you do. Now, I came to Kent in 1970. I came from East Sussex, so it wasn't a huge leap for mankind, but it was a giant leap for me, because Sussex is very, very suburban. I came to Canterbury College of Art, which has been through more name changes than even I've been through. But it's I call it UCA now. But when you become an artist, you don't really become an artist. It's not actually a career choice. You do it in defiance. You know, I had to define my dad and say he was in the Navy. I had to say it to my Navy dad. But one of the lucky things was I didn't have to choose. I didn't have to do a career or something like accountant, artist, you know, whatever it was. It's not like that. You know, you have to do it. You know, if you're thinking these things, you can't keep them there, they can't. And you do that until something better comes along. In my case, something better's come along yet. But I associate Canterbury coming here with this a kind of epiphany where I ticked this box to say I was going to do fine art. You know, here, me, expensively educated, you know, the apple of my parents' eye, turning, you know, that moment into a wastrel. You know, I was going to become an artist. It's about the worst thing, you know, the bit of news that a parent can receive. That is what I'm going to do. And on the strength of that, so I'm flying high. And I, you know, rocket into Kent. And very, very aware at that moment, of course, everything going on. I mean, the first thing that hits you is the smell of apples as the beginning of the academic year. To me, the smell of apple reminds me of September and excitement, the beginning of a year. It's extraordinary how it affects you, and imprints. I mean, like, it's like acid on a copper plate, which is what these are. And I think that's the sort of one of the things why I came to printing, when I was 53 or something. I thought I was going to get through my whole life without printing, because I thought of it as reproduction, which I didn't really like the idea of. I don't like books or postcards and that. I like the real thing. And of course, I learned. I had this very nice invitation to America a few years ago, and I learned about etching. I thought etching was old hat and scratchy and what have you, but I was shown by Maurice Payne, who was probably one of the greatest printers in the world. May not be the best behaved man in the world, but he's the greatest printer, about sugar. And I've used soft brushes. I'm the only person in Alpha who uses soft brushes, and he said you should use soft brushes. And you get this mixture of, well, you see, I think of the impact, printing, pressing. It's almost like a sort of an aggressive thing, but it's a completely non-aggressive. You can get such delicacy with sugar. I haven't tried woodcut or silk screen or a lot of the other things that you see around you, but I'm going to learn gradually. But the experience here of living on this, coming out to this peninsula, which is the only part of England that has 3 coasts, a north, an east and a south, and you're in dark shot of London. And the other one's called, by the way, the Falmouth College of Art, which is the government health law at the end of the prospectus says, by the way, Falmouth is 310 miles from London. So, goodbye fun. I know some